So you want to be rich but you don't know where to start? You hear countless gurus on the internet say that you should always save every single dollar and heaven forbid never ever spend $5 on a Starbucks coffee. But at the same time, you hear other people telling you that you need to quit your job right now and go all in to start your business. Truth is, most people don't want you to succeed and they are going to purposely mislead you. Why? To see you fail. Think about it. If you fail, it is less competition for them. You see, I personally went from being a broke, depressed, and anxious guy just a couple years ago to now running a profitable online business and having the time of my life while doing so. And I didn't get there by saving money or by investing all my money into crypto and passively waiting for it to burst. And in the next few seconds, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can do the same. Now let me ask you a question. How bad do you want it? You need to understand that everyone, literally everyone, wants to make millions of dollars and live a very interesting and fulfilling life. A few years ago, when I was still at a low point in my life, I realized that wanting those things did not make me special in any way. What makes you special, however, is going after the things that you want relentlessly day after day. You'll notice that every single very successful person, they all refused to take no for an answer. And that is that drive, that relentlessness that got them to where they are today. They had this ability to be stubborn, to shut out all noise, all distractions, and to keep working until finally they got what they wanted. And yeah, I mean, you might look crazy to some people for a while, but who honestly cares? When you're the one making millions, enjoying life, living life on your own terms, making your own rules, those people, will they think you're crazy? And honestly, those people don't even matter in your life. Plenty of people talk about wanting to be successful, to make a lot of money, but if you look at their actions, there is a mismatch. It's always baffled me, if you really want something, won't you do everything in your power to be able to achieve it? Truth is, business is about beating your competition. Yeah, I know it feels strange, right? After all, we are always told that we should never be in competition with others, only with who we were yesterday, so ourselves. And that might be true, but let's be honest, if your competitors can offer a better product or service than you do, who do you think the customers are going to prefer? The answer is quite obvious. If you are too slow, somebody else is going to pitch the clients that could have been pitched by you, and he'll get the sale, he'll get the money. Just think about it. Your ideal customers are getting pitched dozens of times every single day. So let me ask you a question. Who do you think has the best chance of signing them on as a client? The first person who reaches out to them or the 1000th? The thing that not many people are willing to realize is that if you actually want to be successful, to make more money, no matter which path you take, you could take the path of becoming an entrepreneur, of starting your own business just like I did, or you could take the slower path, decide to slowly climb the corporate ladder, to become a lawyer, to try to become a high-paid doctor. Either way, you are going to need to work hard for a long time, for months and for years, and to sacrifice. It's easy to want this ideal life. It's not easy to go after it, and especially consistently. You're going to miss out on fun dates, on parties, on social events, but if you truly want it, if for you this outcome, this freedom, this abundance that most people will never have access to, if for you it is worth it, you will do whatever the hell you'll need to do to get there. You'll drop all of your excuses, because at the end of the day, life doesn't care about your goals. Life is simply indifferent to what we do. So it's not like one day you're going to wake up with $1 million waiting for you on your doorstep. Obviously, this never happens. And you also have to realize that friends will be lost along the way. Because what do you think is going to happen when you start to level up? Let's say this is you, this is your friends. You start your business, you start to exercise regularly, to eat healthy, to meditate, to do things that you were not doing before. Because you understand that to reach a level of success which is up here, you need to become a better version of yourself. You will not achieve your goals as you are right now. To build the sort of life that I had always wanted, I had to change a lot of things about myself. And I'll tell you this, it was completely worth it. But when you are here, your friends are here, when you start to rise, they're not necessarily going to follow you along the way, so it is going to create a mismatch between the two of you, and that is why friendships will be lost. I used to have somebody who was really close to me, but that mismatch, that gap got so big that obviously at some point the connection was lost. Personally, I always want to try to push people to do better. I see the potential in people, and I want them to exploit that potential, to tap into it. But truthfully, not everyone shares the same goals, and that is completely fine, because not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Society would not function if we were all entrepreneurs. We need doctors, we need nurses, we need engineers, and the same thing is true if you build a great muscular physique in the gym. If everybody was fit, in shape or muscular, it wouldn't be really surprising, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary, so we would desire it less, we'd look for the next thing. Now you need to understand that school did not prepare you for the real world in any way, and if anything, it's only programmed you to fail. So in your journey, when you start to realize how money actually works and how to make more of it, you're quickly going to realize that you've been put a lot of BS in your brain by society, by your teachers, by your parents. The reason being, they simply don't know any better. So the first step to learning is actually to deprogram your brain from all of the false and incorrect ideas that people have told you. Personally, when I was still in school, they never mentioned the fact that we could one day start a business. Like maybe one professor did, but that's pretty much it. They always said when you're going to send your resume, when you're going to have a job interview. It's like starting a business was not even an option, but that is simply not true. I don't personally preach that everyone should be an entrepreneur. It is definitely not meant for most people. However, it would be a lie to say that this is the only path or that there is only one path. In school, they also never taught us about taxes, and that is extremely important. Think about all of the useless things that they quote-unquote taught you in school, yet you never utilized them. So what was the point except to make you waste your time? School is not education. The real reason why schools even exist, the whole reason behind why they were created, was to manufacture good workers and taxpayers. There's literally nothing else. Do you really think that the elite cared about educating the population? They couldn't care less. They did it for their own benefit, as with everything else. Now, in school you are punished for cheating, while in the real world, cheaters win. In school, if somebody does your homework for you, you'll get severely punished for it. However, if you start a business in the real world, if you get an accountant to do your bookkeeping, to take care of the financials and of the taxes of your business, you will be rewarded for it. In fact, it is encouraged. People would think you're crazy not to hire an accountant. So once again, that goes to show you, school is completely different from the real world. They teach you that you need to sit in a classroom for however many hours a day. They program you to trade your time for money. But if you look at the richest people on the planet, they would have never been able to get to that level of wealth if the only way to actually make money was to trade your time for money. Now, something else is that you never want to stop learning, ever. Most people, when they get out of university, they think they're done. They can relax for the rest of their lives. They don't have to learn anymore. The truth is that the best of the best in their respective fields, like let's say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they always keep learning. They practice a lot, of course, but behind the scenes, they're learning. They're rewatching tapes of the games to figure out what they can improve, what they did wrong, what they did right. Now, there is something that you really need to watch out for. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It means that when you start to learn something about a specific subject, you think that you know a lot more than you actually do. And that is where most people stop learning. They think, oh, they know everything. In reality, the more you learn about a specific topic, the more you go in depth, you realize you know nothing at all. There are so many subtleties, so many things that can be analyzed in such depth that honestly, if you wanted to know everything that there is to know on one particular topic, you would need a billion lifetimes. And even then, I don't think you'd get anywhere near. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is that you shouldn't be afraid to invest money to make more money. Truth is, people who do not take risks get nothing out of life. The biggest risk that you can possibly do in your life is to never take any risks. If you never get out of your comfort zone, what do you think is going to happen to you? No one is going to come in to give you what you want. You've got to earn it, you've got to take it to make it yours. Opportunities are there, but you need to be the one to go and to actually open that door, because no one is going to do it for you. And plenty of people want to make more money. They say they want this, they want that, but they're not willing to actually do what it takes. They say they want to have a better body, but they're not willing to go to the gym a couple times a week. They're not willing to put sweat and tears into their workout. They say they want to be millionaires, but they're not willing to do deep work. In fact, they would rather just play 3 hours a day of video games. But if you were actually dedicated to reaching your goals, to getting what you want, you'll see if you take one close look at your calendar, most of the activities that you do will help you to reach that big goal of yours. Truth is, when people say they don't have time, they're simply lying to themselves, at least for most people. Now, if you're a new parent, you've got 2 jobs, you're trying to provide for your family, you're in a very tough spot, that might be a different scenario. You're doing your best. But most people, come on, they say they want more, but they're not willing to do more. They spend hours on end every evening watching TV, watching movies, and I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with entertaining yourself. However, make sure that you work hard first, that your priorities are set straight. Now, something else is that you need to choose the right opportunity. Like I said, technically speaking, you can become a millionaire, in fact, by saving up some money and investing it in the stock market every month. You could retire with $1 million or 2 in the bank, but first, you are not ever guaranteed to reach retirement. Many tragic accidents happen in life. You don't know when you are going to leave this world. But then the biggest concern is, do you really want to only enjoy your money when you're old? Think about this. When you're young, you can do so much more stuff with your money. Then there is another path that you can take. You can try to get into what we call high-paying careers, like a sales rep, a lawyer, a doctor. You could try to work your way up into the C-suite, which is basically being a CEO, a CFO, a COO, and that can work. If you slowly climb the corporate ladder year after year, decade after decade, you might get to a point where you make 6 figures a year. Hell, for the most hardworking and also luckier of you, you might even get get to 7 figures a year. But how likely is it? Not very. You would have to simply sacrifice so much. Are you ready to put in 80 to 90 hour work weeks for decades on end? You'll have no time for your hobbies, no time to spend with your family, with your closed one. Is it really worth it? Getting rich is great, of course, but at what price? And that is why growing up, I understood this. I knew, okay, I could be a lawyer, I could be a banker, and I could make a lot of money. I could get to 6 figures a year. But at what price? Because I not only wanted the money, but I wanted the freedom. In this world, there are plenty of people, they're CEOs, CFOs, COOs, they're busy professionals, they make 6 figures a year. They have a Benz. But if you ask them, they are miserable because all they do is work. So they have so much money, but they don't even have time to spend that money. So what's the point? They're in this hamster wheel, which is endlessly spinning. That is why the best path to reach 6 or even 7 figures a year, to obtain true financial abundance, is to start your own online business. With an online business, you can pick your own hours. If you learn to work in a state of focus and of productivity, you can start with 2 to 4 hours a day, and you can get more done than most people do in 8 hours, believe me. You can also work from wherever you want in the world, as long as you have a laptop and a steady internet connection. There is no limit to how much money you can make, so the growth potential is literally infinite. And the best part, you can reach 6 or 7 figures a year much faster than with any of the other options we've just talked about. And this is what I personally did, and I would have never been able to build this kind of life for myself if I just were to become a lawyer or to save up as much money as I could to invest it passively in the stock market in hopes that one day I can retire with $1 million or 2. Now, if you want to start your own online business, but you have no clue what to do, I have recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular business model, because you need to make sure that you choose the right business model for you. And then I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can start using today to start your business and to get your first customers as quickly as humanly possible. The link is in the description below. Now, the other thing is that you need to have a team. You only have 24 hours in a day. You're sleeping at least 8 hours of them, I hope. So you realize that you can't be doing everything yourself. Now, at first, when you get started in business, you might have a bit more work on your plate, because if you don't want to hire other people, you'll have to do more of the work naturally. But even then, at Consulting Fastlane, we teach our members how to leverage the skills of other people so that they don't have to do all of the work themselves and can focus instead on client acquisition. Because at the end of the day, this is what brings money in the business. And these successful people that you aspire to be like, even if we take the example of Jeff Bezos, of Jack Ma, of let's say the richest people on the planet, they all leverage the skills and the time of other people. They couldn't do everything themselves because there is just so much to do. It's humanly impossible to do everything just by yourself. And even then, even if you could, why would you not leverage the expertise of others? To give you an example, hiring somebody to make YouTube thumbnails, for me it makes sense because they make thumbnails all day. I can't be making thumbnails all day, so this means that their skill level when it comes to making great attention-grabbing thumbnails is going to be much higher than mine ever could be, simply because, like I said, I can't spend 10 hours a day making better thumbnails. So of course you can start your business just by yourself, but then if you want to reach the other level, if you want to get to 7 figures a year or even multiple 6 figures a year, hiring, delegating the work to other people who are more experienced than you are, more skilled than you are, it makes complete sense. So I genuinely believe that if you follow all the steps in this video, your chances of making it to the top 1%, of earning 6 or even 7 figures a year, are much higher.